Me.
So this is Justin.
Hello.
Justin is the guru in Beyond Organic. He's a really high level guy and he knows everything. What else do I say about you?
Just tell them how awesome I am, how happy I am,
Awesome
how
patient.
everybody's lives are changed when they learn this information.
They are. We're all of our lives are changed by this.
Well, normally when we're here, I kind of do this talk with Dr. Brown, so we're going to switch it up a little bit since Dr. Brown is in bed and he could barely talk to me on the phone this morning. He's so sick. So I don't know if he's not taking his sort of leave or what the deal is, but I'll be honest with you. I saw this business and this product line for the first time back in, well, it's about a year ago, just over a year ago now, and I have not had so much as a cold in the last 12 months, which is amazing for me because I tend to burn the candle at both ends. I go pretty hard, and I was always known as that guy that just got sick a lot because I wouldn't sleep, and I would just go so hard that, but since I got involved with Beyond Organic, I can honestly say I haven't had so much as a cold. So this is an amazing, amazing company I'm going to introduce you to. It changed my life. I mean, I'll just tell you that this company changed my life in such a dramatic way, so fast, that I literally, I mean, you understand, I spent 18 years in the construction industry. We're not exactly concerned about what we eat in the construction industry, you know? I mean, for years we would go to the bar before going to work in the morning. Now this is way back, okay? I'm not that guy anymore. But we just didn't give a thought to it. I mean, we would stop and we would buy Nestle Quick Milks, which had 1,800 calories, and we would pound those before going to work in the morning. We ate McDonald's for breakfast. We ate fast food for lunch. We ate fast food on the way home. And we didn't care. We didn't think about it. You know what I mean? And so, you know, you look at my entire life leading up to this, when I got introduced to a company called Beyond Organic, it was off my radar. I mean, I wasn't excited about an organic food company. I didn't know anything about organic. I didn't know anything about healthy eating, healthy living, right? I mean, I hired a personal trainer 5 years ago when I threw out a disc in my neck and I needed to get in shape. And I mean, even the personal trainer had me on synthetic supplements, had me on protein powders, synthetic protein powders and shakes, and just, you look at the way we're educated in America and it's completely backwards from what the truth is. And when I dove into this company and I started eating these foods without even knowing what I was eating, I will tell you that in 2 days, my body kicked in at a level that I couldn't even believe it. I had never felt so good. I didn't know your body could work as efficiently as it did once I started eating this food. And I got really passionate and I dove in and I was like a sponge, and I still am. I studied. I got around anybody I could that could teach me more about this concept of healing the body natural, of giving the body what it needs to perform at its optimal level. And I got really excited about this, and I got really excited about sharing the message of this company with everybody that I could come in contact with, okay? So I was originally introduced to this, by the way, by my cousin, Dr. Pete. A little bit of background there. Our moms are twin sisters. We were born 2 months apart, so we literally grew up, I mean, we were like brothers. We were together every single day, all right? And I ended up going in the construction industry. He went to chiropractic school, and today he runs the largest chiropractic clinic in North America. So he sees over 2,000 patients a week in his clinic. He's extremely successful. In fact, he's authored 2 books now. He runs a worldwide evangelist ministry. I actually just got back from India with him, where he spoke to a crowd of 80,000 people 4 nights in a row. He also is an ambassador to the United Nations. So just to give you an idea at the level of success, when you look at the business world, they're right now in the middle of a deal with the United Nations with a water treatment system for the world that will net profit them a minimum of $100 million. One business deal. I run a $35 million construction company. We've got 40-some employees. We run 30-some vehicles. We run anywhere from 20 to 60 subcontractor crews a week. It's a big operation, and we do gross volume of $35 million a year, all right, with maybe a 10% profit margin at the end of the day. He's doing one deal with him and his partner with the United Nations that'll be worth $100 million in profit. So when you look at the level of success, the level of business knowledge that he has, when he called me last November and said, we have an opportunity to partner with a guy named Rubin. This could be the biggest opportunity of our lifetime. I mean, I had no choice but to listen to what he was saying. You know what I mean? For him to make a statement like that to me, I was like, I don't know anything about this organic food industry, but that's impressive, okay? And so I got excited about who I was getting into business with, but I really dove in and I spent the next 6 weeks after he called me researching this industry because I didn't know anything about it. And I'll tell you what I found. I found what I call a power wave, really, which I call an economic situation where several key factors come together at a specific time to create really an unprecedented opportunity. As I researched this industry, this organic industry, I found that it is an explosive industry with unprecedented opportunity right now. I'll give you an example. The first key factor I found was the current sad state of American health. ADHD has increased 400% in the last 20 years. 80% of Americans claim to struggle with fatigue on a daily basis. 1 in 3 Americans is obese. 1 out of 2 men in this country get cancer. That's a staggering statistic. 4 out of people die of heart disease and cancer in America. And as of last year, we are the sickest industrialized nation in the world. But we spend more money on medicine and healthcare every year than the other 41 countries combined. Now that is a downward spiral that seems to be getting out of control, right? Highly associated with our food industry and how we mass produce food, I found out. Number 2, I found out Americans really know this. I mean, most of the people I started talking to, even in the construction industry, as I started talking to colleagues and coworkers, I found that they're like, yeah, Justin, how could you not know this, man? We buy all organic, we buy kefir and kombucha. This is stuff I'd never even heard of these words. Like I didn't know what this foods were that they were talking about, you know? But I found out that Americans really know that the food that we're eating is hurting and killing us, and there's really not a lot most people can do about it. As I started to try to buy this food and I started to implement this kind of a lifestyle into my home, I found that it's not that easy to do. Organic, number 1, is very expensive. It's hard to find the stuff that we're looking for, like free-range chickens and 100% grass-fed beef. I found there's so many loopholes in the system as to what you can label stuff with that you really have no idea what you're buying on a store shelf, regardless of how expensive it is or what it is. And I found that Americans know this. Look at this. We collect the same amount of data every 2.5 days as it took us all of history up until 2003 to collect. All the data we collected through all of time up to 2003, we now collect that same amount of data every 2.5 days. So information is widely available out there, right? And Americans understand this concept that what we're eating is hurting us. Now let's look at the organic food industry. In the last 20 years, it grew from a $1 billion market to a $27 billion market. That is significant growth when you look at any market, but now we're talking about organic food. Organic foods are the fastest and most profitable segment of American agriculture. Guess what I found? 95% of our organic food comes from the 10 big food conglomerates that control food in the world. Why is that? Because they bought all of the organic companies up because it's the fastest growing, most profitable segment of American agriculture, right? They love that label that says USDA organic. Total U.S. organic sales are growing at almost 10% per year. It's actually more than 10% per year when you average the last 10 years out. We're growing in double digits every year. The majority of people in every income range said they would prefer to eat organic food if given the choice. I love that. In every income range said they would prefer to eat organic if given the choice. This is how educated we are in America on what we're eating. Organic food and beverage sales represent approximately 4% today of all overall food and beverage sales. So that's significant. Why is that significant? When we look at critical mass or we look at the growth of markets, one of the things you always want to look at when you're looking to get involved with an industry is where is it at in the S-curve. And we call this S-curve economics. You've got this first section here where a product is introduced to market, or we call that inception, until it gains 10% market share. That period of time is typically clunky, right? It doesn't go real well. There's adjustments that need to be made as the consumer grabs a hold of a product line or a new concept. And it's typically slow growing until the industry figures itself out. But what you'll see in business is once 10% of the population grabs hold of something, we'll typically see that S-curve climb almost overnight to 90% market share. And the goal when you're getting involved with a market or an industry is you want to get involved in the inception phase because all fortunes in America are made during what we call critical mass, or that growth from 10% to 90% market share. Look at the cell phone industry. Cell phones were out for 20 years and very few people had cell phones, right? As the industry was clunky, your phones were humongous. It was like carrying a big brick around. People had them in their cars. It was just unpractical, right? But then they came out with cell phones and they made them smaller and they started to make them digital and they became much more practical. And all of a sudden you saw everybody in America have a cell phone in literally 2 to 3 years' time. I mean, it was like overnight you couldn't live without a cell phone. We're seeing a rebirth of that wave right now with smartphones. 5 years ago, nobody had a smartphone, right? Very few people. The smartphones you had were big, they were clunky. But now today, most of America has a smartphone. I mean, God forbid my 10-year-old doesn't have an iPhone. How does she get through life without an iPhone? I mean, it's just, right? She came home from school with an iPad this year. Every 10-year-old in the school got an iPad this year. I mean, it's changing the way we live. But you don't want to get involved in the cell phone industry today. You wanted to be involved in the cell phone industry when it was clunky, right? Because fortunes were made during the growth phase, not after the market had leveled itself off. Make sense? Mm-hmm. So you look at the fact that the organic food industry is at 4%, growing at double digits per year. It is a good time to get involved in this business. Then I looked at e-commerce. We're the only company in America that ships perishable food items from the farm to your front door. Go out there and try to buy a 100% grass-fed organic cow and have them ship it to your house. They're going to laugh at you. And they're going to go, we don't ship perishable beef through the mail to your house. You got to come get it from us, right? We actually ship from our farms in Missouri directly to your front door. So I started looking at e-commerce. You know that the concept of buying stuff online hasn't hit critical mass yet, and yet it's grown every single year since the inception of the internet. We buy a higher percentage of our gross domestic product every single year online, and we're starting to see that market explode. This Christmas, they'll talk about it, right? Because they do every Christmas, they talk about how much more stuff was bought online than the year before, and that's getting bigger and bigger with the, wave of tablets and smartphones and just simple ways to shop online, right? And then the final factor I found, and this is no shock to anybody, but we are just not making it financially in America. We are the largest in-debt nation in the world. In fact, our debt is actually equal to our economy. So we're going back faster. If you look at fourth quarter last year, outstanding credit jumped $68 billion just in the fourth quarter of last year. National debt's right now growing at 6% annually, and our gross domestic product is only growing at 2%. So we're going down fast. Look at this statistic. The average family today has 2 incomes, but less disposable income than a 1-income family had in 1973. So we went from 1 person in the home working with more money to spend than 2 people working in the home and less money to spend 30 years later. So, and here's one that's been around for 60 years. Less than 5% of Americans make it to age 65 with more than $35,000 in annual income. I mean, you think of that statistic in the greatest country in the world, people died to come to this country. People risk their lives and leave everything behind just to get here. And you think less than 5% of us make it financially. Americans need to find a way to make their own income. That's the long and short of it. And when you see the directions, we're not going to get into that talk, but when you look at the direction Americans going, it's more crucial than ever that Americans find a way to create their own income. So, then I got introduced to this guy named Jordan Rubin, okay? And Jordan Rubin, his story, I didn't know him before I got introduced to this company, but his story of death to life through natural healing is one of the most miraculous ever told. Jordan Rubin today is considered one of the top nutrition, natural health expert in the world. He's written 22 books. He's most well known for a book called The Maker's Diet, which is his own story of healing. He was literally on his deathbed before he learned how to heal his body through natural means. And this was on the New York Times bestseller list for 42 weeks in a row. It's an amazing book. I highly recommend reading it. His newest book is called Living Beyond Organic. He started a company called Garden of Life, actually, after he got healed at the age of 20. In his parents' garage, he started this company. And Garden of Life, actually, in the last 10 years, has now generated over $1 billion in sales. It was considered the fastest growing company in America at one point. It's currently the 3rd largest supplement company in the world today. So this is a guy that really understands business, not just business, but international business. He built one of the greatest companies in the world over the last decade, And he sold that company 3 years ago to pursue what he is truly passionate about, and that is getting the nutrition our bodies need from the foods we eat. He said, supplements should be just that, in addition to. We should not supplement to get all of our nutrition. We should supplement to get the nutrition that the food that we're eating isn't providing us. The problem is, the food we're eating in America isn't providing us any nutrition, so we get all of it through supplements. And he said that has to change. That's the downward spiral we're experiencing in America. So he literally walked away from a free ride, sold his company, and started one of, in my opinion, the most high-risk ventures that I've seen anybody venture out to start in America. Think about this. The average network marketing company launches with $150,000 to $250,000 initial investment. It's a high-risk business, and most of them don't make it past 2 years, right? Jordan invested $50 million out of pocket to launch this company over 3 years. That is an unbelievable stat when you look at our industry and the high-risk venture of it. Plus, nobody's ever started a network marketing company with a whole food product. It took 2 years to get FDA approval to ship this product from the farms directly to your front door. It literally ships on dry ice in a cooler right to your front door, directly from our farms. So Jordan said, hey, I'm ready to do it again with Beyond Organic, and I invite you all to join me. Pretty cool. I'm going to let him tell you his story.
When I was a teenager, I was diagnosed with multiple illnesses. Crohn's disease, inflammatory bowel disease, symptoms of rheumatoid arthritis, chronic fatigue syndrome, parasitic, fungal, bacterial, and viral infections. I was deathly ill. The life I knew was crumbling before my very eyes. I went on to visit 69 medical experts. Conventional medicine failed. Natural treatments failed. And I always left the doctor's office worse than when I came. One day I was reading the Bible, and I read a scripture that came out of Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1, that said, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence and assurance of things not seen. What could I do to put action to my faith? My step of faith took me to asking my mom to take my picture. I stood there in boxer shorts and nothing else. She said, Jordan, I don't want to take your picture. It breaks my heart to look at you. Can't we wait till you're well? And I said, you have to take this picture now, because the world's not going to believe what God's about to do in my life. My step of faith didn't result in a healing the next day, the next week, or even the next month. A year later, I met a man by telephone who told me that if I follow a health plan that comes from the Bible, that's proven through history and confirmed by science, I could be well. The introduction to biblically based whole foods, rich in nutrients and compounds such as probiotics, cultured dairy products, grass-fed beef, raw beverages like juices, changed everything. In a 40-day period, what I would later refer to as the Maker's Diet, I went from sickness to health, from death to life, and ultimately from mess to messenger. In the midst of my recovery, I made a promise. I'm going to have a hand in raising and growing the world's healthiest foods. In 1998, I started a health and wellness company called Garden of Life. Out of my parents' friend's garage with a credit card and a dream, I began to share the message of health and hope. And Garden of Life has taken me to 5 continents, 44 states, sharing this message in front of millions of people, partnering with thousands of health food stores and physicians' offices worldwide. That was where the seeds for Beyond Organic were planted. When I started Beyond Organic, I made a commitment to help produce the world's healthiest foods and beverages, cutting no corners, uncompromising, vertically integrated, having a hand in every aspect of the supply chain, that take tips from the ancient biblical past, combining with modern science to bring foods and beverages that can be consumed by so many, delivering delicious and healthy foods from our farm to your family. The Beyond Organic message is comprised of 3 parts. We want to help people everywhere change their diet, change their lives, and change their world. It is so critical to consume the world's healthiest foods and beverages, free from chemicals and toxins, knowing where your food comes from, and understanding our connection and stewardship of God's green earth. It's also critical to become educated, to learn about making the proper choices, to provide a healthy life for you and your family. If we don't leave this earth better than when we entered it, we've accomplished nothing. And at Beyond Organic, it is so important for us to follow God's mandate found in James 1:27, to feed orphans and care for widows and provide for those who can't provide for themselves. And as we walk through the virtual farmers market at Beyond Organic, we'll find foods and beverages that simply are not available at local health food or grocery stores. Taking information and secrets from thousands of years of biblical history and bringing them to you in a form that you can consume each and every day. And you know that what you are eating and feeding your family is the very best you can get. Instead of sharing profits with health food stores, we decided to share with those that shared our message most. People that have been championing the message of natural health for years, if not decades, who now have the opportunity not only to bring foods and beverages that can be consumed by so many that desperately need these nutrients, but be able to somehow get their foods and beverages for free, or even earn some income to offset some of the deficiencies that this economy has created. We at Beyond Organic are not measuring success by the amount of food we ship, by the amount of dollars people get in their pockets, but by the amount of lives that are changed. This mission marketing program allows individuals who are just as passionate as I am about transforming the health of this nation and world, one life at a time, to be on board with me. After all, Beyond Organic is not my mission, it's our mission.
So Jordan's mission is simple: to have 1 million families living beyond organic by the year 2020. And when you look at that kind of growth, we've currently got about 9,000 people pursuing this and sharing this message with us. So when you look at going from 9,000 people to 1 million people over the next 6 years, 7 years, 7.5 years. That's a good amount of growth. That's a good company to be involved with. I'll tell you that Jordan, he is investing another $10 million into our infrastructure and our product lines over the next 4 months. So he dove in head first into this business, and there is no opportunity for failure. He sold his company and his source of income, and he went all in. Failure is no option with this man. It's unbelievable what he's putting together. Let's look at organic. I mean, one of the things that I learned as we started buying organic is that organic really doesn't mean healthy. This is what we were talking about just before everybody walked in, is the fact that, hey, organic simply means no pesticides, no chemical fertilizers, no hormones, no antibiotics, and no genetically modified feed. It basically means we didn't add the poisons we typically add to our food in this country to mass produce it, right? But it doesn't mean there's anything nutritious about that food. An example is these white frosting-filled cookies in my cupboard that say organic on them, okay? There's nothing nutritious in that cookie just because it doesn't have any of these 5 things in it. There's still nothing good in that cookie. Conversely, when you look at a cow that's organic but is fed corn and grain all day, that cow doesn't have the nutritional value that God intended it to have. Cows are intended to eat grass, right? Green leafy vegetables. That's where the nutrition comes from. If you plant a carrot, we planted a garden up at our cabin 3 years ago when we bought the place. This is up in the middle of nowhere, and if you look at a map of soil sustainability in the U.S., northern Wisconsin has 0 soil depletion, meaning the soil is very nutrient dense. And what's amazing is we planted that garden. Our kids run in and out of that garden all day, and they'll grab carrots out of the ground, brush them off with the dirt, and eat them. They eat all the blueberries, all the raspberries, all the pea pods, everything that comes out of that garden. Rarely do we ever get to bring it into the house and prepare it for dinner because our kids eat it. Why? Because it tastes completely different than anything we've ever bought in the grocery store, even organic. Why? Because if you plant a carrot in nutrient-depleted soil, that carrot still doesn't have the nutrition level it's supposed to, right? You need to sustain your land where we're planting, and we've not paid any attention to that in America for the last 70 years. So Jordan's method of land sustainability is literally one of the top respected land sustainability systems worldwide. And Rich, you've seen his whole documentary on how he sustains the land. It's unbelievable the process that land goes through to put the nutrients back in the soil. It's really amazing. And that's why our food, when tests at nutrition levels, science didn't even believe was possible. What he's done is unbelievable. 2 important health principles we focus on. 1, getting out the bad or cleansing our system, minimizing toxins, okay? This is probably one of the top reasons we're so unhealthy in America is the overload of toxins we're exposed to on a daily basis. Our bodies, when our body has to focus on dealing with toxins every day, it can't do what it's supposed to do for optimal health. So we really focus as a foundation on getting the toxins out and minimizing the toxic intake that we're exposed to on a daily basis. Second thing is once those toxins are out is getting in the good or maximizing nutrition. Now, there's some key components to nutrition I want to just go over really quickly as we talk about the rest of our product line. And that is, number 1 is probiotics. We are missing a good source of probiotics in our diet. Probiotics is the good bacteria that lines the digestive system. It creates a wall in the digestive tract, almost like a one-way door that allows nutrients into the bloodstream and into our cell. It also secretes enzymes, which are like the teeth in our digestive system that breaks down food and keeps toxins moving through the body. So it blocks toxins from getting in, it allows nutrients to get through, and it breaks down our food. I will tell you that without the right amount of probiotics in your system on a daily basis, you are not absorbing the nutrition in anything that you eat, and you are allowing an overload of toxins into your cells. And so probiotics is the single most important thing that we talk about. We do not have a source of probiotics in the food that we eat conventionally. Most people that are conscious of probiotics actually take a probiotic supplement in synthetic form, but I will tell you every single food or beverage that Jordan releases is loaded with probiotic cultures, very, very high levels of probiotic cultures. You can't overdose on good bacteria. The more good bacteria in your gut, the less bad bacteria is there, okay? And when you look at the fact that our bodies contain 75 trillion cells that absorb toxins and nutrients, okay? The digestive system alone has 10 times the amount of those cells than the rest of the body combined. I've heard 85% of all sickness and disease stems from the digestive system. And when we look at most diseases, most illnesses out there, they stem from the gut. If we can heal the gut, we can heal the rest of the body. You look at skin conditions are not caused by skin conditions. Skin conditions are caused by the gut. They're caused by what's going on internally in the body. So we talk a lot about probiotics, and probiotics alone will change most people's lives in America, in my opinion. Within 2 days of my body getting good probiotics out of our beverages, my digestive system kicked in for the first time in 15 years. Honest to God. So we talk about probiotics. Second thing is we talk about omega-3 fatty acids. We do not have a good source of good fats in this country. Our best source of good fats is stuff like chia and flaxseed and wild-caught salmon, but how much of that are we eating in Minnesota, right? We're not getting enough good fats. Good fats are crucial for lining our organs, protecting our organs. They're an anti-inflammatory, and they're responsible for rebuilding the cells as our cells reproduce in our body. We cannot overdose on good fats. Good fats don't make us fat. Good fats will actually burn fat and create an optimal level of weight for us. The third thing is another fat called CLA, conjugated linoleic acid. CLA is such a beneficial fat, and it's known as the strongest cancer fighter that we're aware of in nature in all 3 stages. It's also known for its ability to burn fat and increase muscle at the same time, specifically visceral fat, or that belly fat that we all deal with, right? So CLA, there's really no good source of CLA in America. I took a CLA supplement for years. It's very expensive to buy a CLA supplement, but if you can get CLA out of the foods you're eating and the beverages you're drinking, you're that much further along, okay? And I'm going to share you some success stories of people that simply changed what they were eating and started eating our foods and beverages and what it did for them. I could tell you my success story, but it's not that great coming from the speaker, right? So I'm going to show you some other success stories coming from this. But I will tell you, I'm 2 belt notches down. I do not diet. I work out less now than I was before because I'm aggressively sharing this message with people. And I will tell you that I have completely leaned down. I'm actually the same weight as I was a year ago, but 2 belt sizes down. And all I've done is, go ahead, Ed.
I've noticed, I've been health conscious for quite a while, eating organic and taking supplements and even probiotics and enzymes. But starting about 6 weeks ago on the program of Beyond Organics and the Amasi and the Squirrel, and I test myself almost daily, muscle test as to what nutrients and what I need, because what I eat changes what I need. And finding that I'm taking a lot less supplements, and my belt size is down 1 inch in six weeks. Yeah, my body weight's the same, but something's going on.
Oh yeah. I have a tackle box actually that I would keep my supplements in. I used to spend $200 to $300 a month just for my own supplements, and we don't take supplements anymore. I mean, we just ordered vitamin D because it's winter and I don't expect to see the sun too much here over the next 5 months. But so we ordered some vitamin D, and we keep some echinacea on hand, some vitamin C in case we, some colds start popping up. But other than that, I really eliminated the supplements that I need in my life, and I've never felt so good. In fact, I asked Jordan when I was in India with him, I said, what should I be taking for a supplement when I eat this food every day? He said, you don't need to take anything for a supplement. He said, I don't take a multivitamin or anything they say you have to take in America. He said, you supplement based on what your body specifically needs in addition to what you're getting in your food. But he said, if you're eating this food, you're getting just about everything that a normal body would need on a daily basis. So, and then antioxidants, vitamins, and minerals, we'll talk about that too. I want to introduce you to our cattle because it's a foundation for our entire product line. Green-fed cattle, and that's significant because you can buy grass-fed beef in the grocery store, right? For something to be called grass-fed beef, it has to be fed grass 30% of the time. For it to be called 100% grass-fed, it has to be fed grass through its entire life, but it can be fed genetically modified grain and corn in the last 6 months of its life during what they call the finishing process. Okay, and that's the end of the cow's life before it goes to slaughter, when they pump it full and they fatten it up, in essence, right? So it's important if you're buying a grass-fed cow from a farmer or something out there that you ask the question, it's grass-fed, but is it grass-finished 100% of the time? Meaning, I want to know that it's never fed genetically modified corn or grain, right? And that is harder to find than you can imagine. I looked 3 months to find a cow that met any kind of standard of nutrition that I was looking for, okay? So they're green-fed, which is a term that we coined and phrased. Our cows don't just eat grass, they eat legumes, herbs, clovers, green leafy vegetables. Very strategic planting in our crops for what these cows get on a daily basis. And you can see they are free-range cattle that have one of the most spectacular settings in the middle of southern Missouri. The closest thing to our farms is a Holiday Inn 30 minutes away. So they are in the middle of nowhere drinking spring water and eating just the best foods that they could possibly get. And that's what goes into our beef. We launched with hamburger and hot dogs. Today we've got steaks, roasts, cheesy hot dogs, summer sausage, biltong, which is, you would call it jerky. However, jerky is just cuts of meat pressed together. It's the waste of meat that's dried. Our biltong is actually, we slice our steak thinly and then dry it. It is unbelievable. So we've got several cuts of meat right now. You look at our meat, we have 10 times the omega-3, the good fats of your conventional beef, 200 to 500 milligrams per 4 ounce serving. You look at the leanness of our beef. When you buy conventional beef in the grocery store, that probably has a 1 to 36 ratio of healthy to bad fats, meaning it is primarily a bad fat you're getting out of that beef. Tell them we're busy, Rose. You look at grass-fed beef, if you buy grass-fed beef, 100% grass-fed beef in the store or from a local farmer, that ratio will typically be 1 to 4 or 1 to 6. 1 to 2 is unheard of in cattle beef, but we have a 1 to 2 ratio of good to bad fats in our beef. Very, very healthy. If you look at our protein, you will never see us launch a food that doesn't have a perfect protein, meaning that protein has all of the essential amino acids that our bodies need and doesn't produce on its own. When you take in a protein, such as a protein shake, which maybe has 1 of the 10 essential amino acids, to process that properly, your body looks for the other 9 amino acids, and it will actually steal them from muscle and from other parts of the body in order to break that down properly. So you can take a protein shake with 50 grams of protein in it, that's a synthetic protein and incomplete, compared to the 4 grams of protein in our milk and the 4 grams are going to be more beneficial to you than the 50 grams out of that protein shake. And that's what most people don't realize when they're looking for proteins, is that you want to get a complete protein. And protein is so crucial for our bodies to reproduce cells and to perform optimally. Carbs we can live without, we cannot live without protein. So 21 grams of perfect protein in a 4-ounce patty of our hamburger. That's unbelievable. And then packed with that CLA and vitamin D like I talked about. What makes our cattle different is our cows. We have A2 certified beta casein cattle. And I want to draw this out for you because this is so significant. When you look at cattle in America, we have a cattle that's called a beta casein A1 cattle, okay? So when you look at that beta casein protein, it's made up of 267 amino acids. And that chain looks something like this. There's all kinds of these amino acids attached together that make up this beta casein protein, right? But when you look at the 67th amino acid, which is called proline, in an A2 cow, in an A1 cow, which is what we have in America, we have primarily A1 cattle, the 67th amino acid has mutated from proline into what we call histidine, okay? When that mutation happens, there's a strand of 7 amino acids attached to it, and histidine has a weak hold on that and allows it to break free from the chain. When that happens, BCM7 becomes its own protein, its own amino acid, and it gets into our dairy. This is called BCM7 or beta casein morphine. It has the same effect on our body that morphine does, and it's 13 times more harmful than gluten to our body and our digestive system. In 15 years, you will literally see dairy marked A2 certified. But today, there's no money in it, so nobody's talking about beta casein A1 versus A2. Our cattle were imported from India and from Africa, where they still have primarily A2 certified cattle herds. And they've tracked this mutation back 2,000 years, where at some point cattle started mutating, that beta casein protein started mutating, and half the world has A1 cattle. America has primarily A1 cattle, and the problem is, even if you do have A2 cattle out there, all of our dairy is combined from thousands of farms all over the U.S. into one central location. So even if you did have an A2 farm out there, that milk is always combined with all the other farms out there. So 100% of our dairy in America has BCM7 in it. And nobody's talking about it. Half of America avoids dairy because they think they're lactose intolerant or dairy's so harmful for you, when the reality is, if we got BCM7 out of our dairy, 99% of Americans could handle it. 99% of people can handle our dairy that are normally lactose intolerant. I had a nutritionist try my dairy. She hadn't eaten dairy in 10 years. And she tried our milk, our cheese, our soybean, which is our cultured whey product. She called me the next day and she says, in 10 years I haven't been able to eat cheese, and showed her 10 pounds of cheese that day. She said, I got 10 years of making up to do. Okay, so this is huge. We literally have the only healthy, nutritious, safe form of dairy in North America. And that is probably the most significant point that I'll make today, to be totally honest with you.
Justin, can I just insert one thing?
Sure.
My sister has had a chronic, horrible cough for years, and she really eats pretty healthy. But one of the things that bothers her is cheese.
Yeah.
And I was telling her about this, and I said, you know what, I've got some of Jordan's cheese. I said, how about if you try that? So yesterday I made, or whatever day she was, yesterday, I made scrambled eggs, and I have the pasture-raised eggs from Whole Foods. I found them there. They're expensive, but
Yep.
they're good. And so anyway, I made that, and I asked her if I could put cheese in the eggs, and sure enough, well, normally within a half an hour she would be coughing and practically choking. She never coughed.
Wow.
So I said, there you go. There's the proof in your own body.
Right.
So
We'll talk about our
she
cheese
saw
in a minute.
this. She was one of the ones there the other night.
Right.
On Thursday night, so she saw this.
Right. So our milk product is unique. We call it a Mossy, and it's thick. It's a whole milk cultured beverage. We don't ever skim the fat off because the fat's where all the soluble nutrients are. In America, we take the fat out and then we put synthetic nutrients back in to say vitamin D fortified, right? When everything that nature produces is in the fat. Our green-fed Amasi, it's kind of a yogurt smoothie type of a beverage. It's a thick milk. We have 30 natural strands of probiotics in our Amasi. loaded with CLA, omega-3 fatty acids, and really, this is probably your perfect source of protein that you can get. I mean, compared to buying a protein shake on the market, this is our version of a protein shake because you get that perfect protein and just packed with nutrition. Probably one of the most addictive products that we have. Our cheese, when you look at our cheese, it's raw cheese, it's green-fed. We use ancient breeding and artisanal small batch. You know, every time you get our cheese, it'll taste a little bit different because we make it in small batches and we never heat it above the cow's natural body temperature to retain all of those soluble nutrients. Look at our cheese. A 1-to-1 perfect ratio of omega-3 to omega-6 fats. That's what you're looking for in your diet, is a perfect balance of good to bad fats. Okay? 1 inch cube of our cheese has 7 grams of that perfect protein, 300 to 500 milligrams of CLA, and loaded with vitamin K2, which is basically giving you the same type of benefits that vitamin D does. So really, really like a super dense, power-packed form of our dairy in our cheese. And I think we've got 5 or 6 different types of cheeses right now. I want to talk to you about Swear Aviv, which is really our staple product, okay? Swear Aviv is a byproduct of the cheese making process. When we make cheese, that milk is separated into solids and liquids. The curds, which is the solids, are used to make cheese, but that golden liquid that's left over is called whey. Well, in America, we throw whey in the ditch. We throw it in the ditch, we dump it down the drain. We don't use that whey, that perfect golden whey in America, but Hippocrates used to administer whey as a healing potion, the father of medicine 2,400 years ago. People would drive from the foothills all the way up into the mountain ranges because when you would extract that whey from the milk, it had to be drinking within 4 hours or it would go bad. So they literally would set up clinics all over Western Europe, Germany, and Switzerland just to administer this cultured whey because it worked on so many organs in so many different fashions. They called it a healing potion. And over 1,700 spas were created just to administer this whey. The foothills would bring this whey down by courier to these clinics where people would stay, and every 2 hours you would show up when the deliveries would get there and you would take your shot of whey. And this is how people got healed of ailments that the medical profession couldn't deal with. Okay? People have been taking whey for 2,400 years over on that part of the world, and yet we've never had a cultured whey beverage in North America until now. And this is probably what Jordan is most proud of, is our cultured whey products because of all of its healing benefits. You look at our cultured whey, we add organic juices, essential oils, structured spring water to it. It creates the perfect ratio of electrolytes for our cells. We talk about our cells, right? One of the things that we focus on that you're not really going to find anywhere else you go is cleansing the body at the cellular level, the most foundational cleanse that you can do. When you look at the fact that water and sodium drive nutrients into our cells, okay? Water and potassium draw toxins out of our cells. The problem is we get 10 times the sodium we need to do that effectively in America, on average. So we're pumping stuff into our cells at 10 times the rate we need to, and we get 1/10 of the potassium we need, which means we're drawing toxins out of our cells at 1/10 of the ratio that we need to. One of the benefits of Swear Aviv, one of the most beneficial benefits, is that it has that perfect balance of potassium to sodium. It has a very high level of electrolytes, specifically potassium, and a very low level of naturally occurring sodium. And so when you drink this product, your body cleanses at the cellular level. Very, very beneficial. We also culture it with those 30 natural strands of probiotics. By the way, different probiotics, different bacteria than what's in our amasi and in our cheese. Everything has different strands of probiotics, so you're really getting a buffet of good bacteria when you're eating our foods in your gut. You're going to notice the difference. How toxic are you? Look at your kids. American Red Cross examined the umbilical cord of 10 newborn babies and found an average of 287 chemicals that are found to cause cancer, toxic to the brain, and cause birth defects. That's amazing. 287 chemicals on average, the American Cross said. How toxic are you? The cause of cancer is no longer a mystery. We know it occurs whenever any cell is denied 60% of its oxygen requirements. How does a cell get congested? Through toxins. When we overload our cells with toxins and we don't cleanse those toxins out with the proper balance of potassium and water, they become congested. It's no wonder 1 out of 2 men in this country gets cancer. It's no wonder 1 out of 3 women in this country get cancer. We're not cleansing our cells effectively. And you'll be hard pressed to find a cleanse out on the market that focuses on the cellular level. Very few, we don't know of any cleanse that does that. So, we've got a 3-day Swero cleanse we recommend. I will tell you, after 3 days on this cleanse, you will feel amazing. I had more energy and was more clear-headed than I've probably been since I was 6 years old. You know what I mean? I just absolutely felt amazing. You drink 6 Swero a day, 6 of these Swero Vivs a day for 3 days, just Swero Viv and water. So you're getting actually about, what is it, Rich, like 800 calories a day?
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. So you're getting about 800 calories a day, but you're getting that perfect balance of potassium to sodium, high level of electrolytes. You're completely cleansing the body at a cellular level over 3 days. If you want to lose weight, this is what we recommend to kickstart your weight loss. You're going to bust food cravings, sweets and salts are going to you're going to become much more sensitive to those when you get through this. I mean, it's an amazing transformation in 3 days. I maintain with 2 Swero Vivs a day. I drink 2 Swero Viv a day, and I really, when I was in India for 10 days, the number one thing I craved the most was Swero Viv. And that's what everybody on the trip said, is I just want my Swero Viv. I could leave everything else behind, but I need my Swero Viv.
Hey dude, here's all the dairy cattle. Where your Mossy and your Swero Viv come from. Come on, dude, this is crazy.
That's Dr. Pete at the farms. He sent me that video a couple weeks ago. He was blown away at how those cattle's free range. Our water is spectacular. Jordan's tested the water out of 26 natural springs in North America before he found a spring in the Blue Ridge Mountains of Georgia. This water tests out of the ground 10 times more pure than anything we bottle and put on a storage shelf. So it is amazing, amazing water. He then took this unbelievable water and he infused it with some essential oils. He infused it with soluble antioxidants and botanicals at a rate of 500 to 1. Meaning 500 pounds of green coffee in 1 pound of our extract. Super, super dense botanicals in our water. But I want to talk to you about our fruit infusion because it's really an amazing product. He infused it with amla berry, or Indian gooseberry, which is the strongest antioxidant on the planet. That alone is very cool to have in your water, right? But the second thing he did is he infused it with African mango. The significance of African mango is that it's one of the strongest fat burners. It is the strongest fat burner that we're aware of in history. In fact, the Journal of Nutrition did a study on African mango in 2008 and found that participants taking the compound found in African mango lost 28 pounds over a 10-week period of time. And the significance of that is they were instructed not to change anything in their diet or exercise, simply to add 150 milligrams of African mango twice a day to their lifestyle. They lost 28 pounds over 10 weeks, and they actually published this new compound has shown better weight loss results than any hormone, drug, or food in medical history. And every one of our fruit-infused waters has an exact amount of 150 milligrams of that Ervingia from African mango. Pretty amazing stuff to have in your water. This is a buddy of mine, Griffin. He's actually a personal trainer, but he gained some weight during his wife's pregnancy, as you can see here. He wasn't always that large and in charge, but he decided to do a 90-day Beyond Organic test. He was used to protein shakes, supplements, powders, things of this nature, and this is what he would recommend to his clients and so forth. But he said, I'm going to go on a whole foods health transformation, and I'm going to implement Beyond Organic foods and do a natural way to transforming my body. So he ate hot dogs, real raw cheese, whole milk, Swero Viv on a daily basis, our chocolate on a daily basis, normal exercise routine, and you can see the statistics are pretty amazing when you look at that 90-day transformation. He actually lost 35 pounds total. He lost 30-some pounds of body fat. He went from 30% body fat to 15% body fat. He gained 4 pounds of lean muscle mass and went from a 43.5-inch waist to a 35-inch waist in 90 days. The most amazing thing is he suggested, it's unbelievable, I never fatigue. He goes, I always have energy and I can do the most extreme workout without even getting tired. And I'll attest to that because I work out with him and you can't keep up with the guy. I mean, he never gets tired, he never fatigues. So he's literally the healthiest he's ever been in his life. Our EA Live foods are amazing. We've got a whole line of snacks, crackers, cookies, granola, things of that nature. We make those all with our 7 seed blend. And really, you look at our nuts and seeds, when you buy a nut or seed off the store shelf, it takes about 1 second to make that seed. And the problem with that is seeds put off what's called phytates. And phytates are a natural defense mechanism for seeds and nuts. It's called an enzyme inhibitor and an anti-nutrient, and it basically prevents your body from digesting it properly or pulling any of the nutrients out of the seed. It protects itself. We add a positive enzyme to our seeds and nuts and put them through a 4-day process that basically sprouts them, breaks down that anti-nutrient, that enzyme inhibitor, and releases all the nutrients and makes them highly digestible. So compared to a seed you're buying in the grocery store that may be organic, that goes through a 1-second process from seed to bag, our seeds and nuts go through a 4-day process to release the nutrients and make them digestible for you. Super, super beneficial. You look at, we've got a whole line of almonds, cashews, walnuts, peanuts. But you look at our 7 seed blend with chia seed, flaxseed, hemp. I'm not going to read all these, but you look at all the benefits and all the high levels of antioxidants and nutrients that are in all of our 7 seed blend. This is an amazing, amazing product that we use to make our granola, cookies, crackers, what's called Sprouted 7, which is my favorite product of all time. It's basically our cereal. We add it to smoothies. You can make muffins with it. You can treat it just as a plain cereal, pour a masi on it. It's an amazing, amazing stuff. Super high in fiber, iron, omega-3s, proteins, healthy fats. We sweeten it with organic coconut nectar like our cookies and our granola, an amazing product line. And then I want to talk to you about New Vino. Jordan spent 17 years traveling the world looking for what he called new wine. Paul says in the Bible, he says, quit drinking just water, but drink a little new wine to heal your gut. And this was a common practice in biblical times. Jordan's been looking for this new wine for 15 years. He found it last year over in somewhere in Jerusalem or something like that, but it's a lacto-fermented super elixir. And basically, he calls it nutritional alchemy, but it's a natural way of preserving something. It's basically a process that takes something ordinary and makes it extraordinary. So by adding cultures, probiotic cultures, and fermenting this in kegs, we bring out natural nutrition and we create vitamins and soluble antioxidants and nutrients that weren't there to begin with. And these beverages are absolutely amazing. We've got a tonic tea blend. I think we've got 5 flavors of tonic teas. We've got super sodas like grape soda, strawberry lavender soda, right? And then we've got our full spectrum coffee beverages, our cultured cold brewed coffee beverages. These are naturally effervescent or sparkling type beverages. They come in a kind of a wine bottle type of thing. But let me tell you, 2 ounces of our new wines have more probiotics than an entire bottle of Swear Aviv in a 2-ounce serving. And listen to this, 10 times the whole food nutrients and antioxidants of any beverage you can buy in America, including our own, in just 2 ounces of this new wine. This is a power-packed super elixir, and there's nothing like it. I had a nutritionist that had really bad skin in my business, and she said, Justin, I am a successful nutritionist. I charge $90 an hour. My practice is booming, and I can't get my own skin to clear up. I've done every cleanse, everything you can imagine to clear my skin up. When she got her new wine, the first pack of new wine, she said in 2 days her skin cleared up for the first time. And she didn't understand why, but I found out she drank all of her new wine. She wouldn't let anybody else in the house have any, and her skin cleared up for the first time in her life because it is such a powerful, packed, dense, nutrient-rich elixir. So I mean, this is a blast because when we have dinner as a family, we pull out 4 bottles of this, pop the tops, and everybody has their new wine, including the kids, for dinner. And I love it because my younger kids, I can't get to drink this. My teenagers drink it, my wife drinks it, I did it, but my 5-year-old, my 10-year-old won't drink this. But it's okay because they love the super sodas. They drink great pop for dinner, and I'm just like, thank goodness they're getting everything they need out of that little bit of their great pop. You know what I mean? So very, very cool product. And then the last thing I'll tell you about is our chocolate. We import it from 5th generation chocolatiers. Using Jordan's recipe. It is amazing, amazing. 61% certified organic cacao powder. 1,000 milligrams of omega-3s per serving, fiber with toasted flax seeds, loaded with probiotics. We don't release anything that doesn't have probiotics in it, okay? And that's just what we've got today. Our product line has tripled since we launched last year. Jordan is literally launching new product lines every single month now through April. He tests over 80 new products a month, and he says out of those products, he maybe will release 2 of them, because he says, I'm not just releasing stuff that's profitable or is going to make the company money or people are going to want to buy because it tastes good. We release products specifically because they meet a need that can't be met on the store shelf in America. You will never find one of our products that has anything comparable you can buy at Whole Foods. And that's the most amazing thing. There's nothing you can compare our products to. There's nothing like them in the market. You can't buy them anywhere else in America. So it's literally like having a monopoly for truly nutritious, beneficial food. And I'll tell you, I eat half as much as I used to eat buying this food because my body's, most of the time people eat, it's because they're dehydrated or they're nutrient depleted, right? Your body's telling you it needs more. When you get these foods in your system, you will find you eat half as much as you're used to eating, and your body performs that much better. It's an amazing food line. Our skincare, Jordan launched with skincare this year. You look at the skincare industry, 60% of what we put on our skin absorbs in, okay? And you look at the skincare industry, it's completely unregulated in this country. We call it the wild, wild west. You can put anything on a store shelf without being tested by any government agency whatsoever with regards to what we put on our skin. In fact, look at this. The European Union now bans more than 1,100 chemicals from personal care products because they may cause cancer, birth defects, or reproductive problems. In history, the FDA in America has banned 9. 1,100 chemicals they've banned because they're so detrimental to our health. In America, we've banned 9. In fact, only 11% of all ingredients we put in cosmetics are tested for safety. So this is a very wide open industry, very hard to find toxic-free skincare. Our skincare line is amazing. It's 100% certified toxic-free, guarantees there won't be anything even in your skincare even associated with negative health. It's 100% natural, and you will be hard-pressed to find a skincare line on the market that you get the results that you do with our skincare. I'll tell you, my mom is known for her skin. She looks 20 years younger than she is. She's been known as that her whole life. She's always used a product called New Skin, which is a high-quality skincare line, probably similar to the Arbonne products. But I'll tell you, my mom refused to even acknowledge that I had a skincare until she got cancer. And she is on a 100% toxic-free lifestyle now, so she had to throw away all of her New Skin products. I brought her over our skincare, and my mom called me that night and said, I am absolutely blown away. My skin has never felt so good. And this is a woman who's known for her skin, right? My mom is the #1 promoter of our skincare because in 30 years, she hasn't tried anything other than what she knows works, right? She's now using a toxic-free, 100% safe, organic product on her skin, and she said her skin has never felt or looked so good. So, pretty cool product line. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but we basically got our anti-aging for your skin and for your neck. And then we've got our body care line, which is your shampoos, conditioners, gels, lotions, lip balms, things like that. And they are just, I could rave and rave and rave about these products, but really, we sell these products by handing you a pack of them and saying just use them for 2 days. And 100% of the time, people buy those products after they've used them for 2 days. They're amazing products. Basically, we do 2 simple things. We use and recommend Beyond Organic products, and we enroll others who do the same. It's that simple, okay? What does that look like? People get involved with us in a variety of different levels. I call this a casual level where they earn referral credits and cash bonuses and basically create enough income to eat for free. I feed 6 people in my house this food every single day, and I tell you, we have never paid for any of this food, okay? I have always made, from my very first month, we have made more money than we buy food every single month, okay? An intentional way of being involved with us is to earn a supplemental income and enjoy tax benefits, to really treat it as a part-time business, and we have several people doing that. And then we've got a handful of us that are a little bit more focused. We've got passion about this, we see the potential of this, we see the ground floor opportunity, and we're really building and leading teams, creating relationships, and trying to create financial security with it. Okay? And it doesn't matter where you're at, we welcome you, we want you to be a part of the organization, we want you to help us promote this and kind of be a part of the ground floor opportunity that this is, and we welcome you no matter where you see yourself being a part of this organization, if that makes sense. From 2006 to 2016, there will be 10 million new millionaires in the US alone, many emerging from the direct selling industry, according to one of the world's top economists. Getting your business started, we got two basic options. One is our Mission Marketer Business Builder Pack, which is $199.95. It renews annually for just under $20 a year. You're gonna get a 20% discount on all of your products. You're gonna earn income for all of the referrals that you're responsible for introducing to this product line in this company. You're gonna have access to all of our rewards programs, product specials, and company trips. With that, you're gonna get your own website, your own back office, and all the tools needed to start and launch your business effectively. And you're gonna get access for 2 people to Beyond Organic University, which is our first year university course. You actually get certified as a health coach through that. It's about a 60-hour course. Took me about 4 months to get through it, but I did it. I passed the test, 50 out of 50 right, so. I'm your certified health coach today. This is priceless in my opinion. The value of the registration to go through this organic university, that alone will change most people's life. Just getting educated on the foundational principles to health. And then what I would recommend, if you're really looking to build this as a business, is think about doing our Fast Start Business Pack. It starts at, we've got 3 different options. They start at $499. Again, you renew for just under $20 a year. You're gonna get everything you get in our Business Builder Pack, but you're gonna immediately qualify for one of our 9 bonuses, which is a 10% first order bonus, which means with this pack, you qualify for an additional bonus. So the first order of anybody you register, you're gonna make a 10% bonus on. So that can add up very quickly if you're treating this as a business and you're enrolling people into our organization. You're also gonna get a sampling of some of our best products, and I'll show you what those look like. Our Beyond Business Pack is $499. You're gonna get 500 points with it. I'll explain what that means here in a second. But you're basically gonna get the Business Builder Kit. You're gonna get a bunch of our anti-aging and our body care products. You're gonna get a Suero Cleanse Bronze, which is our 3-day Suero Cleanse, 18 bottles of Suero Vive, and then you're gonna get a whole bunch of our super sodas, tonic teas, and our EA Live snacks. So a pretty cool pack. It's half price when you buy it in our Fast Start program. It's $1,000 worth of stuff for $499, and it basically qualifies you for all commission levels right off the bat, okay? A similar one to that, same price, same points, same deal, but you're gonna get a Suero Cleanse, and then you're gonna get one of our full anti-aging skincare systems with it, okay? Plus a free lift serum. Now you look at our big pack, it's our anti-aging pack. Again, it's a $749 pack, 750 points. You're gonna get everything in the Business Builder Pack, but you're gonna get a whole bunch of our, you're gonna get our Suero Vive, you're gonna get our Beyond Organic chocolate, you're gonna get a bunch of the EA Live foods, and you're gonna get 2 of our advanced anti-aging skincare systems, which is cool because they retail for $360. So you now have 2 of those kits. One can be used for sampling, or like I said, sharing with folks and introducing them to our skincare. It's our most profitable product line, so that's a great way to launch. Or you could sell one of them for $360 and earn some of that money back, okay? That's the 3 different options in our Fast Start program. And I wanna just really quick, in 5 minutes here, go through what the compensation plan looks like, and then you can ask me some questions about it. I wanna highlight a few of these. One is our Business Builder bonus. When you register a business builder, you're gonna actually make an immediate commission off of that, paid weekly, called our Business Builder bonus. So when you register someone, okay, let's say you register Tom, you're gonna make $100. Direct deposited, that's a weekly commission that pays every Friday, okay? For everybody Tom registers, you're gonna make $30. And for everybody that person registers, so basically we call this your level 1, your level 2, your level 3, you're gonna make $20 for everybody registered on your level 3. These are immediate bonuses that pay every week right when somebody registers as a business builder, okay? And that's significant because that can add up quickly. We sponsored a lot of people our first month. I made over $1,000 our first month. A lot of that came from Business Builder bonuses, and it's pretty cool as your organization grows to see those weekly commissions kick in every time somebody's getting registered in the organization.
So this is with the $199?
That's the $199 pack. Yep. And I'll explain the $500 pack, the difference in that, okay? I just want to get through this. That's our Business Builder bonus. The first order bonus I talked about, when your very first order is 500 points, you get that, you qualify for that first order bonus of everybody you register from that point on, which is why our fast packs are such a beneficial way to get business. If you look at all of our products, they have a point value given to them, okay? So for example, our skincare and Swear Aviv, you're gonna get, for every $1 you spend, you're gonna get 1 point, okay? But you look at a less profitable product like our beef, you're gonna get 1 point for every $2 you spend, okay? If you average all of our products out of a shopping cart, you're basically gonna get a point for every $1.50 that you spend, okay? Some products are more profitable, some are less profitable, but average, you're gonna get about 0.65 points per dollar that you spend. Does that make sense? Kind of. If you've got a shopping cart and you spend $150, you're gonna get about 100 points for that, depending on what you're buying. Okay, just to use an average number. Now, if you bought all Swear Aviv and skincare, and you bought $150 worth of skincare and Swear Aviv, you get 150 points for that. If you bought all beef and all water, you would spend 150 points and get $150 and get 75 points. So there's a range that goes from 1 point for every $2 to 1 point for every $1 you spend. Is that a little bit more clear?
Yeah, why does he do it that way? Why isn't it $1?
Well, a lot of companies you see do it that way just because you have to price your products competitively with what people are used to spending in the market, and yet the profit margins on certain things are different. So by putting a point value on it, you can now have a universal compensation plan without having to inflate prices of products over what people are used to spending on them. Does that make sense? So some of our products are just more profitable. You can give it a higher point value compared to others where you can't inflate the price enough to make up for the compensation plan. So by using a point value system, a lot of companies do that. A lot of the big companies do that. You know, Amway's got 1 million products. They're on a point system as well. Because you just can't have that margin be out of whack. Okay? An enroller bonus. Our enroller bonus is this. Anybody you register, you're going to make 7% of their points every month. Okay? Anybody that they register on your level 2, you're also going to make 7% on their points every single month. Any preferred customer you register, you're going to make 7% on their points every month. That's called our enroller bonus. Okay? Now in our organization, everybody you register goes into a waiting room for 10 days. And you can place people wherever you want in the organization. So let's say you registered Joe, and you decided Joe would best be fit under this guy way down here, right? But you enrolled him, so he's your E1. You still make all the commissions from enrolling Joe, no matter where you place him in the organization. So even if he's all the way down here 8 deep, he's still considered your E1. You still make $100 for registering him. You still make 7%, and you still make 7% off everybody that Joe registers, even though he's way down there in the organization. Okay? Very cool, right? Now if you look at our generational business centers, this is really where the big money kicks in, okay? And that kicks in at a level of 4,000 points. Once you're running 4,000 points through your business, we call that a vice president, okay? At that level of the business, and I can draw this out for you if you like, but you're basically making 4 to 34% off of everybody in your organization, no matter where they're at, how they got there, who placed them there. For example, you have probably quite a few people that have been placed underneath you, right? So Julie's got an organization, and she's got a bunch of people that have been placed underneath her from her upline. When she hits 4,000 points, she's going to get paid off of all the volume running through those folks. In the generational business centers, nobody cares how those people got there. Even though she's not making the enroller bonuses off those folks, she's going to make full commission on the generational business centers, no matter how those people got there, whether she registered them, whether they're customers, or whether they were placed from her upline. Make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. The most profitable way to build our business is through 3 legs. Okay? The way things are structured, there's not a lot of benefit into getting any wider than 3 you're gonna make full commission having 3 legs. And that's really beneficial because we see what I call as a lot of spillover. You know, most people, if you're building the business, I think I've registered 16 people, but I have, you know, we're closer to 20 people personally, but with having only 3 legs, there's benefits as we place people in organizations that they're gonna do the best with. A very cool part of the program, in my opinion, is the ability to place people where they're gonna be most suited and not have it affect your own personal commissions.
Explain how you kind of did it with yours, because you did it with like your family, you did.
Right, I've got one leg that's basically all family, okay? I've got another leg that's basically built from all of my contacts in the construction industry from 18 years. And then I've got another leg that is basically made up of all my close personal friends. And it's just how it worked out for me. I mean, it just happened to work out really nice, where I just kind of had these 3 different groups of people. They kind of overlapped a little bit, but you know, I was able to place people strategically, and we've got a good growing organization right now. I want to show you how this comes together here real quick. Using a simple example of enrolling 2 people a month. So let's say this is December, and you got registered and you did 150 points, okay? And you registered 2 other people that also did 150 points in volume. Just to give you an example, 150 points is the average monthly order nationwide for the entire company. So I'm using very conservative, realistic numbers here when I show you this example. I personally, over the last 11 months, have averaged 480 points a month personally. And that's what a lot of my people do, a lot of volume like that, because we're basically buying all of our food from Beyond Organic. I mean, we eat primarily Beyond Organic food, you know, but 150 points is the average nationwide monthly order. So when you look at this example, if you got registered and registered 2 other people that did 150 points, the average, you would make $221 in bonuses and commissions in in December, okay? Now let's say everybody did that the second month. Let's say everybody registered 2 people the second month that did 150 points. I love this because these represent spillover. We've got people spilling over down into the organization underneath folks that didn't necessarily register them, which means, is this guy motivated? Of course he's motivated. He's got 300 points in his business that he had nothing to do with, right? He's excited. But you look at this example, second month in business, you're now made $417 in bonuses and commissions. And why I love that is for most people, they're now eating for free, right? You're able to get more than 150 points. You're able to get 250, 300 points worth of food for $417. So for most people, with a very simple effort, you can now eat this food for free every single month. And I love that. Take it one step further, a lot of spillover taking place. You're now at 4,000 points, which is that vice president level. You've tapped into your generational bonuses, and it's over $1,200 in bonuses and commissions that you make at the vice president level, including your business builder bonuses, your first order bonuses, and all of your different commissions. Okay, so it can come together very quickly. Executive vice president, I'll tell you, executive vice president, 64,000 points. We've seen a lot of people hit that level in just 6 months in this organization in our very first year. It's a 6-figure income, and in January, they incorporate a car program with that. So you actually get a $700 car payment at that level of the business. And for most folks, you are now free as a bird, right? I mean, you don't have to go to your job if you don't want to. You are literally have a residual income of 6 figures. You have a company-paid car that you're driving around, and life is really good, right? I mean, that's the goal. I will tell you that my cousin is currently walking away from the largest chiropractic office in North America to pursue Beyond Organic full-time. In July, he walks away from that clinic. And that's amazing because his entire life has revolved around that clinic for the last 15 years. For him to walk away from everything he's built to pursue this full-time says a lot for what's going on with this company right now, okay? And the income can get pretty big if you continue to pursue it. And really, it's about taking our time back. You look at the most valuable commodity in America right now, it's time. We're hyper-living in today's day and age. And you look at the Generation Yers and the generation that's graduating from college right now, they aren't looking to do what their parents did. When you interview or you read articles about that generation sees their parents getting laid off, going through multiple job changes. The average lifespan in America, well, somebody will go through 13 different careers in their life in America right now. And you see this young generation coming up and they're saying, we don't want that. We don't want to work from sunup to sundown. We don't want to burn the candle at both ends. We want to enjoy our lives. We want our time back. It's the most precious commodity we have. I'll tell you, my happy place is my cabin, where we can just get away and just get lost in everything and spend time as a family, fishing and skiing and just playing. But I maybe get to do that 4 days a month, right? I mean, it's just you spend the rest of the time working, chasing, trying to get ahead, and it's like you never get ahead. And that's really why I love this program. In addition, you're making money and you're getting your health back, which is the most valuable thing of all, is getting your health back. If all I got out of this company was the way I feel on a daily basis that compared to the way I used to feel, it was all worth it, right? Time, health, and money, it's what everybody in America is chasing, and it's so hard to achieve today in today's day and age. You look at the perfect business checklist: low risk, high profit, $200 you can start a business that can literally make you $1,000 a month within the first couple of months. Everybody's a prospect because everybody eats, everybody's looking for additional income, right? Immediate cash income in the business builder bonuses, long-term residual income in our generational business center bonuses, no inventory, no deliveries, no collections, no employees. You're the boss, you control your own time, your own efforts, you get out of it what you put into it. Very different than corporate America when you're an employee. You never get paid what you're worth in corporate America, right? Leverage your time and your own talent. Tax savings of owning a business, that's a whole other talk. And we're in a growth industry, an industry that's absolutely exploding, which we talked about from the beginning. Last thing and we're done. Jordan Rubin built this company to change the world and to take care of widows and orphans. He takes zero money out of Beyond Organic. He puts 100% of the proceeds for Beyond Organic back into the company and into creating homes for widows and orphans around the world. In fact, they're currently building a 15,000 square foot home right on the ranch in southern Missouri that will house over 40 orphans from India and multiple widows from this country. And his passion, his vision, he said, Justin, we're set for life. I had a free ride. I didn't sell Garden of Life and start Beyond Organic because we were looking to make more money, or I needed an ego boost to build another company. I did it so that we could fund our vision of changing America, ultimately changing the world, and housing widows and orphans around the country. So the man is just an amazing man of character. Everything goes back into this idea of our Widows and Orphans Fund. But every time you place an order with Beyond Organic, they'll ask you if you want to donate $10 to feed a hungry orphan. If you do that, Jordan credits you that $10 back on your very next order. It's an amazing program that shares his vision to change the world. Okay? Just such a man of character. And that's it. Our mission is simple: change your diet, change your life, change your world.